Yesterday we introduced you to Taiwan spiders. Today we meet the man behind the story. Known as the Spider King, Professor Chen Shihuang says that until his recently published book, there's been virtually no research on local arachnids since the Japanese era, 60 years ago.
The study of arachnids demands more time out of the classroom than in it.
Here is undeveloped forest. Over here has been developed.
Professor Chen Shihuang is taking his students into Taiwan's mountains for a field trip. The so-called mountain is actually a graveyard.
Why did we need to cover the trap with a stone? To block the sun and rain, right?
With graves all around and no locals to interfere, spiders are easy to find. The only limits are your own powers of sight and your quickness against the spiders. Many don't know that Taiwan is not only a paradise of butterflies, but also for spiders. More than 400 species are currently identified, but those are only the ones catalogued so far. The total number will probably end upwards of 1,000. The research area has a lot of potential, but there just aren't enough people doing collection and classification.
At the very least, we need to take account of Taiwan spider varieties. We must get clear on at least that. This is what we're currently focusing on.
Though his doctoral dissertation was written on frogs, Professor Chen felt something for spiders. 30 years ago, he made the shift and never looked back.
When I got back to Taiwan, I found a lot of people were studying frogs. So I thought, Taiwan still has a lot of areas nobody else is studying, one of which was spiders.
Though the field trip has taken us to a remote graveyard with no signs of human habitation and a myriad of mosquitoes, this glade is the Spider King's magical hall where even the female students enjoy the tricks and thrills of spider catching.
I was afraid of them before, but after I learned about them, they weren't so scary.
Controlling one's fear of spiders is one thing, fear of the tombs entirely another. For Professor Chen, every opportunity here is precious, that others might recognize the value of these tiny little friends of nature.
If you're not a clean freak or just not so sensitive about webs in your house, then keep in mind that leaving spiders alone does us no harm. In the end, these are animals that do not harm human beings.
Spiders are small, but there are many of them. Although not threatened by extinction, development that affects the food chain can have an impact on spiders.
Spiders eat insects and other arthropods. After human development, the environment gets destroyed, and while that might not have a direct effect on spiders, their food supply could decrease.
Spiders are nature's hunters. Without them, pests like mosquitoes would thrive with no limits. So even if spiders do seem scary, always keep in mind that they are also humankind's best friend in the fight against flies.